crews are investigating an overnight fire that destroyed a mill in Maple Ridge. Flames broke out at around 11 o'clock last night at the S&W Forest Products Mill on 288th Street. It's believed the fire may have started in one of the mill's offices. Both Maple Ridge and Mission crews responded with about 35 firefighters on scene at one point. Crews had to work extra hard to fight this blaze because there were no hydrants in the area, so water had to be shuttled to the scene. Luckily, no one was injured.
On arrival, initial crews found office building located on one of the mill sites, building approximately 50 feet by 70 feet, fully involved in fire.
A memorial service will be held in White Rock tonight to celebrate the life of a little girl discovered dead in the trunk of her mother's car last week. The pastor of 8-year-old Tegan Batstone says his congregation is still in shock. Tegan was involved in a number of church activities, including Sunday school. Her mother, Lisa Batstone, has been charged with second-degree murder. The White Rock Baptist Church will be holding the service at 7 o'clock this evening. Carl Lilgert will not be getting a new trial for a fatal ferry accident 8.5 years ago. The appeal on his criminal negligence causing death conviction has been rejected. Lilgert will now serve his sentence of 4 years in jail. He was working the bridge on the Queen of the North when it crashed and sank off the north coast, killing 2 passengers. The Crown argued he was distracted by his former girlfriend and crew member, Karen Bricker. Starting today, it will cost you less, a little bit less, to take a BC ferry. The corporation has eliminated its 3.4% fuel surcharge as the price of oil continues to fall. The expense is expected to stay away for at least a year and a half. It is the busiest travel time of the year at Vancouver International Airport. Tens of thousands of people are expected to pass through the terminal over the next 2 weeks. We connect with Greg Harper, who is live at YVR with more on this. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Well, it's been steady here this morning at the domestic departures area at YVR. We've spoken to holiday travelers that are heading to Manitoba, Ontario, Alberta for the holidays. They are expecting this December here at YVR to be the busiest ever. Close to 1.6 million passengers are expected to pass through the airport this month. And as we get closer to Christmas, 8 days away now, it will only get busier and busier. They had a press conference here yesterday at YVR talking about some of the do's and don'ts for passengers at this time of year. And there is a common mistake that happens year after year. Of course, a lot of people are bringing gifts with them. A lot of people are packing syrups and jams and preserves on their carry-ons. If you do this, well, don't do this because your items will be taken away and it will delay getting through security. How do you speed things up this time of year? Travel early, like these holiday travelers.
It's sort of expected for the holidays, so it's it kind of, it's par for the course, I guess.
It's a wonderful time to travel. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family in Manitoba, and it's going to be a great Christmas because the family are gathering from all over Western Canada.
Plan some extra time. It is the holiday season. It's a busy season, both at the airport and on the roadways. So think of giving yourself that extra hour so you can be leaving home in good time, getting to the airport, whether it's by the roadways or by using the Canada Line. We even have check-in kiosks at the Canada Line stations.
Also today, the federal government is expected to announce or to unveil some new initiatives that will speed things up for travelers at Canadian airports. We don't know what these initiatives are. If we learn that before the end of the show, of course, we'll bring that to you. Jody?
All right, great stuff. Thank you so much. Greg Harper reporting live from YVR. What are your best holiday travel tips? Do chime in on the Breakfast Television Vancouver Facebook page, and we'll share those a little later on in the show. It will cost $9 billion and require flooding a huge chunk of land, but the provincial government has signed off on the Site C Dam.
The Site C Clean Energy Project will not be built in a day, and it certainly won't be built in a year. But once it is built, it is going to benefit British Columbians for generations. And that is why we have decided to go ahead with the Site C Clean Energy Project.
The government says the mega project will provide more than a century of power for the province. When it's built, the Peace Valley Dam will cover 8% of electricity in BC.
When it comes to legal actions that may be in play, I think it's probably best not to be commenting specifically on them, but rather to say that we're working through those legal actions. Some of them are not a surprise.
The project has been hotly opposed by environmentalists, First Nations and landowners in the Peace River area. They're promising legal action. Others feel there are better, cheaper energy-creating options like geothermal, wind, and solar.
This appears to me to be more deception, but now it's deception at the cost of ratepayers. $9 billion that we don't have for a project that we are told by an assessment that was done less than a year ago by the federal government that we don't need right now.
The province and BC Hydro hope to begin construction on the dam next year with completion in 2024.